British cybersecurity firm Goldilock Secure has been crowned Grand Winner of SLINGSHOT 2025. It beat nearly 7,000 other startups from more than 150 markets with its solution, allowing users to disconnect parts of the network they want to protect from cyber attacks. The competition, now in its 9th year, is organised by Enterprise Singapore during the Singapore Week of Innovation and Technology. And for more on this, we have Cindy Ngiam, who is co-founder of Goldilock Secure, and Cindy Ngiam, who is Director of Startup Ecosystem and Community at Enterprise Singapore. Stephen, Cindy, great to have you both in the studio today.
Thank you for having us.
Well, I'm going to start with you, Stephen. First of all, congratulations on that win. But we're also very curious, how exactly does Goldilock Secure work to protect us from cyber attacks?
Well, one of the biggest problems is that we have a proliferation of connectedness, and AI is just going to make this worse. And that's why we have actually 600 million cyber attacks. And it's not just stealing our data, but it's actually compromising our energy networks, our water, transport, and this actually leads to a loss of life. But the simplest way to deal with it is actually by pulling the plug. The only problem is you can't really pull a plug with thousands and thousands of people in a large network. So what we invented was something that allows you to remotely disconnect those networks and connect them. A physical connection controller called Firebreak that allows you to stop those attacks and keep it in a default disconnected. So you take back control of your entire network. It's like an invisibility cloak.
So it instantly disconnects the system from a remote location, perhaps, and that is not connected to the internet anymore.
Yes, the trigger that you use to connect with it is without using the internet, and that's what our secret sauce is. That's the patents that we have, and that's what's been validated by NATO over 2 years, what has made it a sole source product. So you wouldn't have to use any public procurement to acquire this in the 32 NATO countries. It validates that it is really the only one in the world that can do that physical disconnect. And that's really important because a lot of cybersecurity is happening at the code, and ultimately that code warfare will always be lost by another coder. But you know what you can overcome is the laws of physics if you physically disconnect. And it's very simple. Our CTO's grandmother set one up of these in 7 minutes. That's how simple it is. And it's very simple to understand. But there's a lot of complexity in there to make sure that it's robust and can work with all those energy and water networks, because it's the first and last line of defense.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of work has gone into developing this product, and it's just one out of many interesting ideas at the startups at SLINGSHOT. Maybe, Cindy, we can bring you in now. If you tell us how this year's competition has been quite different from the previous years. Are you seeing a change of ideas, new firms coming in that are fascinating for you?
Well, this year's SLINGSHOT has been the highest record of applications that we have seen over the years that we have organized. I think what is actually very interesting is our top 12. We look at them having IP from some of the leading innovation hubs, including Japan, US, and UK. So other than our grand winners, we have also the second and third place startup in the health and biomed domains as well. We have Loop Diagnostics. They actually have a rapid diagnostic test for sepsis and also immune dysfunction. We also have our third place winner, Nala Genetics, that looks at predictive genetics testing as well. So we are very excited by the quality of solutions that have come through our competition, and I believe our judges at the judging panel are also saying very good things about them.
Yeah, well, Singapore is becoming one of the fastest growing ecosystems for startups in the world. So what do you think are the prospects of Singapore actually coming up with some more homegrown unicorns?
I think Singapore is in a good place as a growing leading startup hubs. I think if I were to look at the kind of startups that we want to continue to attract to the ecosystem, I will use the criteria for SLINGSHOT to quite succinctly summarize them. Number one, we are looking to them having a good innovative solution, one that differentiates themselves clearly in any market they are interested in. Two, they understand where the product market fit in. They actually have quite a good pathway to profitability and scaling in those markets they want to penetrate. And of course, also solving a large global economic problems, which give them a good opportunity to succeed. And last but not least is also to have a good and talented team to actually support them from lab to market, and then from market to scale into the interest markets they have.
I think definitely one of the startups or the firms that have really exhibited a lot of these qualities would be Goldilock Secure itself. And actually, you're investing in Singapore and trying to expand or have more of your staff here as well. Can you tell us more about why Singapore and if you see much potential both in this country and in the region for expansion?
Yeah, absolutely. We're actually developing our next generation of technology because we believe that it should be embedded in every industrial control system, that ability, every car, every home. So with the talent pool that is here, we've already started to recruit, and we've actually been supported by an agency here. There's a big announcement on the 14th of November where we're looking to do that. But also it's a launch pad for Southeast Asia. So it really punches above its weight because of your ability to use this market. And that's been the amazing thing about the Slingshot program is we've had sort of supported by Enterprise Singapore, the opportunity to really understand the Singapore market in a very deep way by being here for a long period of time and seeing what it is to be life here, not just flying in and out, but really what it means to set up a company and scale it.
Well, are there challenges you anticipate in the future, especially with the rollout of the product and taking it to market?
Yeah, I think that the challenge is always continuing to find investment. When you are an innovator, you are going against the grain. And you're challenging certain perceptions of what the market is, like what I talked about, that code is the way. But software is not going to solve our solutions. We built something that's really rugged. I can even drop it on your floor, and it's something that is there that is really important for protecting all of these networks because they're so important. So the challenge is actually a mindset that we have to be always connected. We don't have to be connected. We need to take back control of our connections. We need to take back the way we interoperate with our networks. When AI is proliferating, we need to respond in that way. And having a physical connection controller, ours is like a platform. So when you talk about unicorns, we really see ourselves in that way and working with the ecosystem.
Yeah, and this definitely is a great starting point as well in Singapore, and also with competitions like this, it really gives you an opportunity to really expand and take things to the next level. Thank you so much, Stephen and Cindy, for coming in today and sharing more with us. That was Stephen Kynes, who is co-founder of Goldilock Secure, and Cindy Ngiam, Director of Startup Ecosystem and Community at Enterprise Singapore.